Good afternoon. I'm Brooke Andrews, Acting United States Attorney for the District of South Carolina. I'm joined by FBI Special Agent in Charge, Steve Jensen. Together, we're here to announce that the U.S. Attorney's Office has charged 3 members of the North Charleston City Council and 5 of their associates following a 12-month-long corruption investigation. The defendants face multiple felony counts, including bribery, extortion, wire fraud, and money laundering. The charged defendants include City Council members Jerome Hayward from District 5, Mike A. Brown from District 1, and Sandino Moses from District 3. The defendants also include certain council members' associates, including Tory Fields, Aaron Hicks, Donovan Moten, Rose Lorenzo, and Michelle Stent Hilton. 4 of the defendants, Hayward, Moses, Hicks, and Moten, have agreed to plead guilty and are scheduled to enter their guilty pleas in federal court Friday morning. The others will be arraigned with a date to follow later in March. When elected officials take their oath of office, they make a sacred promise to the people they serve. They pledge to uphold the law, act with integrity, and place the public interest over their own. Public service should never merely be a job. It is a public trust. The allegations in this case describe a profound betrayal of that trust. These council members used their positions not to serve their community, but to enrich themselves. They traded the power entrusted to them by the citizens of North Charleston for their own personal gain. Acts alleged in the charging documents involve extortion, bribery, kickback schemes, including payments related to the rezoning of the historic Baker Hospital site in North Charleston and to North Charleston's violence reduction grants. Each of the defendants in this case either solicited bribes, received bribes, paid bribes, or otherwise facilitated the payment of bribes and kickbacks. This type of corruption does more than violate federal law. It erodes the very foundation of democratic governance. When citizens cannot trust their elected representatives to act in the public trust, faith in our institutions crumbles. The people of North Charleston deserve better. All South Carolinians deserve better. The charges announced today send a message that goes far beyond North Charleston to anyone in South Carolina who will abuse public office for private gain. We will find you and we will hold you to account. I want to thank the FBI, our partners at the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, and our dedicated team of prosecutors and professional support staff in my office for their tireless work on this case. I'll now hand it over to Special Agent in Charge, Steve Jensen.
Good afternoon. I'm Steve Jensen, Special Agent in Charge of the FBI Columbia Field Office. I'd also like to start by thanking my partners in SLED, the members of the FBI team that conducted this investigation, and our partners in the U.S. Attorney's Office, without which we wouldn't have these charges today. Public trust in our elected officials is a fundamental pillar of our democracy, and it should never be taken for granted. Unfortunately, as alleged in these indictments, the defendants abused that trust, using their positions of power and influence to orchestrate backdoor deals for personal gain. In early 2024, the FBI, in collaboration with SLED, launched an investigation into these allegations of public corruption involving certain members previously outlined by the U.S. Attorney of the North Charleston City Council's office. The charges outlined are deeply troubling, and citizens have a right to expect honesty, fairness, and integrity from their leaders. The alleged actions of these defendants betray those principles. Public corruption not only leads to financial losses, but also erodes public confidence in our institutions. Let me be clear, no one is above the law. The FBI, along with our law enforcement partners, remain committed to aggressively investigating public corruption and holding those responsible accountable. If you have information about public corruption or other crimes, I urge you to come forward. Call 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit online tips to fbi.tips.gov. Again, that's fbi.tips.gov. And I'll turn it back over to Brooke for any questions.
We're limited in the questions we can answer right now, given the posture of the case, but I'll be happy to take a few.
Can you talk a little bit more about the investigation that led up to this today?
I'm not going to comment more on the details of the investigation. I will say this. Upon entry of those guilty pleas this Friday morning, there'll likely be some more information shared in open court.
When did it start, the investigation? When did this?
Last February, so exactly a year, or thereabouts.
Can you speak to the sentences expected?
I'm not prepared to do that at this time. Thank you.
Can you talk about what prompted the investigation?
I'll just tell you that we'll get some more information on that later on, but there was a tip that the FBI received that opened this up for us.
One more.
I believe you mentioned that you started the investigation looking at specific council members. Were there any council members investigated that ultimately were not charged?
I'm not going to speak to that right now either. Thank you.
One of the charities, I guess, that was involved in nonprofits, the CEO is an Allison's Dent, but the person who was, I guess, indicted as part of this, are these two people related at all that you know?
I don't know and can't answer that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.